everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome back to another awesome video. This is Tracy, and happy Friday. Before we get started, please like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button. Help your girl out. It don't cost a thing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified when your girl upload another video. And that's it. That's it. Oh, one more thing. Watch the video and the ads till the end. Yes. Yes. So, look here, you guys. I wanted to come to you this morning on Friday to just check in with you guys and tell you that I'm doing fine. Like I told you guys, I've been going through a lot since the pandemic, and I've been working from home, and I just got nothing but time on my hands. And sometimes we need that time. Sometimes I just look at sometimes the universe, God will do things to shake you up. Will show you things. It's up to us to look at those things. He shows us signs. He gives us warnings. You know it. Like right before you do something, you have this feeling, this gut feeling. Pay attention to those gut feelings. Pay attention to them. Those are signs. Those are warning signs. And we don't pay attention to them. Okay? So, what I've been going through lately, though, I lost my dad a year ago. It'd be 2 years this coming March, but a year ago. And I think I expressed a little bit once before, but I never really got into it. Like, his funeral, it was bad. As far as the way me and my daughter was treated. Like, I'm the only child. I'm my father's only child. Only child. And my daughter is his only biological granddaughter. His only granddaughter. I'm his only child. Isn't it a trip how you find out how a person feel about you in their death? Like, that's a coward-ass move. Like, I've been going through this guilt feelings because, like, I'm upset with my dad. And I keep saying, God, he's passed away. You can't be mad at somebody passed away. But I was thinking, yes, you can. It's not, just because I'm upset about some things doesn't mean I'm happy he's gone. It doesn't mean I don't feel bad that he's gone. It means that I'm dealing with issues. And you can be mad at someone. You can be upset with the situation. I don't have to feel guilty about that. Like, for once in my life, I need to think about myself and my own feelings. You know what I'm saying? And for many years, I felt uncomfortable visiting my father because of his wife. And I just didn't understand it. And I would ask him about it. I would talk to him about it. We had our own relationship. She said she don't ever come around. You don't make me feel comfortable. My father talked about it. He said he'd rather come to my house or when we meet up at a function at somebody's house that's doing something, like my aunt or something. Or, we talk on the phone. That's what we did. Or I go over to his house when she wasn't there. And there were times I would go when she was there, but I did not feel comfortable. My daughter didn't feel comfortable. What I'm mad about is that he allowed it. Like, he wasn't strong enough. Like, he took care of, when he married her, she had 6 kids. And he literally took care of her grandkids, literally raised them since they were little boys, like 6, 5, and 6, all the way to, he literally gave them, like I told him, I said, you're my father, you know, he keeps talking about, here I am in my mid-50s, and you're still talking about child support. That's something that you were obligated to do. You're my father. That's not something you're supposed to chalk up with me. You're my father. You were that was an obligation to my mom or to you as my father. So you think because you paid child support that everything, so I was telling him, I said, no, I'm not mad, but he was because we was having a conversation. I can't remember how we got on this subject, but I was telling him, I said, you gave them boys, the grandkids that you raised, something, you gave them something that I would have never had. You gave them your legacy. You raised them. It wasn't my fault that you and my mother didn't make it. It wasn't my fault that she left you because of things that you did to her, And so you think because you paid child support when I was a little girl, what's child support? What about the love, the communication, the nurturing, the time? What about the time that you spend? What about that? And he would always if there was something about me that he didn't like or didn't approve of, instead of him talking to me as his daughter, he called up my cousin Varel, or he'd call up his sister Redessa, or he'd call up, other people. It's like, why aren't you expressing these concerns with me? And maybe your wife don't like me because every time you get mad, you talk about me to her. Let me tell you something, you guys. If there's any men watching, young men, and I'm only talking from a female aspect. Okay, we know, girl, just like boys need their father, girls need their father too. Because that father, your father, is the first man in your life. And when your father tells his little girl that she's beautiful, that she's worthy, that she's smart, that she can be anything she want to be, when your father instills those attributes in you, you ain't gonna be, when a random man come into your life and try to tell you those things, you be like, I already know that. Okay, my dad, I already know that. Tell me something else I don't know. Give me something else I don't know. A lot of times, as females, I'm talking from a girl's point of view, when you don't have certain things growing up in certain attributes, especially from a father's point, from your father's point of view, you end up trying to find that with someone else. You jump in relationships because you're looking for someone to validate you, even though you don't think you don't know that you're doing that, but you are. You're looking for that validation. And if your father gave it to you as a child and instilled it to you as you grew up, as you're growing up, when you reach adulthood, you wouldn't need validation from anybody. And it wouldn't be so easy for you to jump into relationships. It wouldn't be so easy for you to let somebody blow smoke up your ass. When guys come into your life and they tell you things that you ain't never heard, or things that you never believe. They tell you everything that you need that you didn't get from home. Your foundation was not built at home. then you find yourself repeatedly in bad situations. And then you start losing yourself. And let me tell you, me being as old as I am, you carry these things on. You have to work hard to change that. You know, it hurts so bad because now back to the funeral. And I told my father, you know, when he was sick, he was like, I'm going to go soon. I said, you ain't going to go soon. I said, but she shows, I said, I hope she don't do me wrong when you go. I said, because she's the type that will do all, you know, and she did. My father, it was so bad. My father, he paid for his own funeral. He paid for his own plot. Because he didn't, and for him to do that, he didn't even trust that she would send him away properly. For him to have to, and I've been thinking about this. For him to have, he said, I'm paying for my own stuff because I don't know how she gonna do me. And I remember him saying that, I don't know how she gonna do me. So he went down to the funeral home and paid for his own casket. He paid for his own funeral. He paid for everything. He paid for everything. And then 2 years later, after everything was paid for, you know. So when he died, she did not call me. I had a bad dream around the same time he died. I had a bad, I felt his death. And I dreamed it was my sister that had just died, and I was in the hospital crying, and I jumped up out my sleep, and I said, no, I'm just dreaming, I'm just, you know, and I went to work, but I was feeling weird all that day. It was just weird, you know, and I always accept my father's, his sister, my aunt, his last sister that was alive. I never reject her calls, but for some reason, when she called me that day it was around 5:15. I seen her number on my phone and I just hit reject. It's like I couldn't answer it. It was like I felt something. It was weird. She ended up calling my mother. My mother it was meant to be. My mother was the one that was supposed to tell me. But back to her, the mother, the wife, I'm his daughter. You mean to tell me she has, to this day, even though the funeral over there, she has never called. She never called me that day. And then she waited to the end of the day to call his only living sister that he passed away. And then at the funeral, she let her daughter and everybody ran that whole funeral. Me and my daughter had no say-so with the funeral. She didn't let us drive in limousine, whether I wanted to ride in there or not, but still. I didn't. After the funeral was over, she said she wasn't having a repast, and she did. None of my father's family, friends was invited. I wasn't. I'm his daughter at his house that he lived in, that he bought. Me and my daughter wasn't invited to my father's house. And then 2 weeks later, she wouldn't let me come to the house to, you know, kind of get my father's things. Her grandkids and kids got everything they wanted. And then she gave me what she wanted me to have and brought it to my job. She brought my father's belongings in a box to my job. I told my supervisor, she wasn't my supervisor at the time, but it was another supervisor, African-American lady, and we were real cool. And I was telling her the situation that my stepmother was bringing my father's belongings to me to work. I said, I don't want that box at my desk because I'm already emotional, and I'm going to be intrigued. I'm going to be curious to see what's in that box, and I don't want to look in that box. I said, so when she comes, I need you to come downstairs. I need you to take that box from me. Do not give it to me. And she didn't. I mean, she ran in that elevator. I was like, let me just look. She brought, and then, can you imagine somebody bringing your dead parent, your stepmother, your stepfather, bringing you your mother or your father's belongings in a box to your job. Wouldn't even let me come to his house and look through anything. Gave me what they didn't want. Things that they probably would have thrown away. And you know how you have a junk drawer where you just throw junk in your drawer and then eventually one day you clean it out. So that's what I got. Stuff out of this junk drawer. She gave me an old watch that didn't work. Some old jewelry that was bent up and old. Some pictures. Just... She showed her true self. How are you going to not let me have anything to do with my father's funeral? I sat there like a guest. Her bed, look. So I'm angry at my father because I feel like he allowed it. He was weak. He allowed, for many years, allowed me to be uncomfortable in his home. As he started getting sicker and sicker, then he started opening up to me more and more and more and telling me how he felt and how he was unhappy, you know, she's this and she's that. I'm like, I've been telling you, I'm your daughter. I should not feel uncomfortable coming to visit you. And so that's been weighing on me because it's just been weighing on me. Because when your own mother or father, I'm not talking about my mother, I'm just saying, because I don't know who's watching, if one of your, when you have a parent that don't stand up for you, don't speak up for you, take on another family and kick you to the curb, that messes with you. It's like he really cared about her grandkids, the boys that he raised. He really cared about them more than he cared about me and his own granddaughter. Like he really did. And I'm not going to go into detail from the other stuff that proves it because I don't want to do that. But he's done. He does. He showed me in his death how he really thought of me, how he really thought of my daughter. Found out this. So that messes with your self-esteem. And I'm talking from a girl's point of view. We need our fathers to instill things in us so we won't find ourselves when we get older in these messed up relationships, being mistreated. And we hanging in there in a relationship because we need that companion, we need that love, we need something that we've never had that we've been looking for. That's just not. And there's a lot of girls, a lot of young women that jump from relationship to relationship. They're looking for something. They're looking for something that they don't have. We have to instill. See, confidence is a taught behavior. You don't just come out the womb confident. That's something that's taught to you. That's something that's instilled in you by your parents. Those are the first people you're going to see in your life. By your parents encouraging you, loving you, punishing you when you need to be punished. Because it says in the Bible, spoil the child. No, spare the child. Spoil the rod, spare the child. Spoil the child. Oh, it'll come to me. The thing is, when you punish your kids for things that they do, you're teaching them how to take responsibility. You're showing them that they have to take responsibility for their actions. They need that too. When you always baby your kids, when you always spoil them, when you never make them, if you always fix the problem for them, and you never make them face, you know, their problems and take responsibility for the action, they grow up with that same mentality and they don't get their self together. You have to punish them when they need to be punished, praise them when they need to be praised, encourage them when they need to be encouraged, talk them off the ledge when they need to be talked off the ledge. You instill that in them. Those attributes, confidence and self-esteem, is a taught behavior. It's a learned behavior that's taught to you from your parents. So, it is this, I see so many broken people. When you're broken, it's hard to be, you can't be in a relationship when you're broken, because you're looking for that person to put the crazy glue in between those cracks and seal you back up. You have to seal yourself back up yourself. And I've just been, I just can't, my father really hurt me. And really, you know, for him, I'm in my I'm almost 60, and you still talking about some child support. And then, until I think I was 25, you can be, no, at that time it was 21 or 22 or something like that. You can be on your parents' medical, he took care of my medical along with child support. So I got pregnant and had my baby, and, on his, so now he said, I paid for you to have a baby. Well, yeah, your medical paid for it, but he's making it seem like he went in his pocket and it took out the money for the baby delivery out his billfold and took it out and paid cash. That's how he even told my daughter, I paid for you to be born. It's like, you was on my medical, yeah, you paid, the medical bill, but you didn't. He keeps saying that, like. So basically, you're trying to make you feel you're guilty. You have guilt, and you're trying to ease your conscience by reminding yourself that you paid child support, by reminding yourself that you provided medical. That's how you are going to fix the issues that you have inside, because you know in your heart how you treated me and my daughter, and you actually really showed it in your death. And that has just broke me down. And a father's love is very important. You have a daughter, if there's any men out there that have daughters, instill those things in your daughters, so when they grow up and become young ladies, they are not looking for those things that was already been told to them. That person that come into their life got to tell them something else. Got to show them some other things. Because those are the basics. They know the basics. Can't nobody just waltz their ass in their life and just tell them some things they need to hear. And then, no. Daughters need their fathers. Period. So, I don't know, you guys. I just got a lot on my mind, and I guess this time working from home and being at home and all this stuff is making me think about some things, making me see my worth even more, making me see how valuable I am as a person. It's making me see things. It's making me look at a lot of things and decisions I made. It's making me want better. I'm getting older. My clock is ticking. I'm not gonna be here long, and it's time for me to live my life. It's time for me to accept things the way they are. I can't change it, and it's time for me to pick up pieces and move on and heal myself. And if you guys are in the same space, that's what we have to do. We have to heal ourselves. We can't beat ourselves up no more. We can't, we can't feel sorry for ourselves, feel bad for things that happen to us. We have to tell ourselves it's not our fault. You know, we have to forgive ourselves for the mistakes we made. We have to accept the decisions that we made and the consequences that's behind it, that came because of it. You know what I mean? So, anyway, you guys, I just wanted to share with you what I've been thinking, what I've been going through, and just I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and I'm slowly coming back, and I appreciate all the love and support that I get from you guys. And you can always, hit my Instagram. You can, always email me. Yeah, the information is always listed in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed my conversation today, and I hope it helps somebody, to know that they're not the Lone Ranger, that they're not by themselves. I'm not going to talk your ear off. It's already been 26 minutes. And I hope that you guys watch this video till the end. Yes, I hope you did. Remember, one love. Love ourselves first. Okay? Keep your head up, chest out, nose level. Don't walk around with your nose all stuck up in the air, face all frowned up, because you feeling the way you feeling. Okay? Don't let nobody steal your joy that you worked so hard to get. And guess what? Don't you steal theirs either. And I will check you in the next video. Peace.